The contentious campaign for sheriff heats up. Tonight, NBC Palm Springs sits down with both candidates for sheriff for their take on the campaign and the allegations being slung back and forth.
Let's talk politics. It's not your first rodeo. You know it gets ugly.
Yeah.
Is this ugliness that we're seeing in the recent months a surprise to you?
I think the depth and scope of how foul it's become. I think all of us, and you've been around a long time, and you know that when you're in the public arena, you individually are going to end up getting a lot of rocks and unfair accusations and everything, because the issue is try to raise as much stuff and throw it on the wall to see if it sticks. I think what differentiates this year is that the attempt to denigrate the Riverside County Sheriff's Department and all the great work that all of us have seen for many years, including during my tenure, but even prior to that, and also the harming of innocent individuals on blogs and these other things that basically are made up out of whole cloth and are just almost like a weapon of terror. And I think the depth and extreme on that really doesn't speak well for my opponent's entire team. I understand why they do that. As I said, the sheriff or whoever's in elected office is fair game, but the family members, the extended workers, the other people, men and women of the department that are doing a great job, they should not be subject to that type of behavior. And it does not speak well for the ethics behind any type of campaign that does that.
Yeah, but in fairness, your campaign's taken a pretty good swing itself. Tell me about the ads that you're currently running, frankly, on our air.
Well, because, frankly, we're tired of unanswering ads that are false. And as you know, during the primary campaign, there were a lot of unfair accusations made about scandals, mismanagement, all of which is absolute nonsense. So, to your point, our campaign is going to end up pushing back on that. We're not going to look the other way or turn the other cheek, and we're going to end up responding to every one of those lies and expose them as lies.
A couple of the accusations being made now include purging the ranks of Bianco supporters.
I have no idea what that is about.
We received an email. Somebody said that they're going through computers here in Riverside, and anybody that's had their picture taken with Deputy Bianco.
That's nonsense. I've seen that same garbage.
Right.
It is outright nonsense. No sheriff would end up doing that, and I'll tell you right now to your viewers, that is not going on. That's just a bunch of baloney. Again, throwing things at the wall to see what sticks.
So you were aware of this. You've seen, because this is internet stuff. This is blog stuff.
Yeah.
All this stuff's coming across your desk?
Oh, I'm seeing it because I'm on the internet as well. So we're seeing all this nonsense, including the harming of other individuals and made up stories about them. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what's so sad about this particular 2018 election.
Is it that much worse than 2014 or 2010?
Oh, it's light years worse than 2014. Really? And it's heavily right now influenced by a lot of union money coming in. And as you know, I've got multiple unions, but the union hometown rule that we had on arguments with one union, RSA, on body cameras and the public policy on that, on blood draws and officer-involved shootings, on auto locators, where they are at any given time. Those were kind of well documented in the press. But it's been a lot of money, over $1 million now, just from some line unions on that, attempting to basically run the Sheriff's Department and dictate public policy.
And our own Kitty Alvarado sits down with Sheriff Sniff's challenger, Lieutenant Chad Bianco, as this race gets down to the wire.
Well, let's get right to it. This race has been quite heated. We've all seen the ads. Your reaction to this latest ad from Sheriff Stan Sniff?
Well, it's quite ironic that in his ad he labels me as a liar while he's being dishonest in the ad. Our campaign, we have a very positive message of change for the department, of change for the county of Riverside on how we, as a sheriff's department, need to make a difference. We have a positive message about budget reform, about corrections reform, about how we do business in the county, how we patrol our neighborhoods, how we engage with the community. And that's resonating very well with voters, with residents. And so I believe that our campaign is going well. The sheriff, unfortunately, is relying, in his words, he says that he's running on his record. Well, his record is quite abysmal. I mean, we have no relationship with our other agencies in the county. We have a contentious relationship with the Board of Supervisors, with our own employees. We have a poor relationship with our contract cities, and we are not doing what we should be doing with the budget. We are not providing the quality service that we are capable of. And so for him to come out and then attack me on semantics is unfortunate. And instead of telling everyone how great he's done or what he's going to do different, it's resorted now to just attacking me. It's unfortunate.
Well, one of the claims he's making is that you're very inexperienced. What makes you think that you have the experience to, you know, if you do say those relationships are broken, how are you going to mend those relationships, and what are you going to do to change that?
Well, I have a long career in the department. I've been here for 25 years. I've been in management in our department for 13. I am the longest tenured lieutenant in our department. This race is about leadership. This race is about failed leadership in the department. And the reason that the men and women of our department, the men and women of other agencies in our county and even our surrounding counties are looking at me as the person that they're supporting for this election is because they believe that I have the leadership qualities to make this organization work, to make this organization better. And between the two, they obviously have chosen me as the better candidate. And to say that, to dismiss all of those individuals and say they don't know what they're talking about is politics.
Now, also, there is a claim that you aren't doing what you should be doing right now, as far as they've kind of stepped back your responsibilities on the job. Is that true, or are you still doing what every lieutenant on the job does, or have some of your responsibilities been taken away since you started running for sheriff?
All of my responsibilities have been taken away. Shortly after the prior election in 2014, all of my duties were stripped. I was completely isolated from the entire department, with forbidden to have contact with anyone from the department. I had zero responsibilities for 800 days, 799 days to be exact. And thankfully, we had an audit of the county, and they discovered me there, and they sent me to Hemet. So I was managing the Hemet station for about 10 months until I decided to run again. Once I decided to run again, I was stripped of everything. I was set down in an office, and I have no more responsibilities. They brought another lieutenant into our department, or into our station, to run the station, and I sit there. Now, internally, this is one of those dishonesty things about the sheriff. Several reports have been written in the press, and I believe on a couple of maybe sound bites on media, but he denies this. Well, internally, we all know it happened. We all know what my responsibilities are. Everyone I work with knows what I do every day, which is a waste of taxpayer money currently under the current sheriff. And it's all political.
Well, plenty of news still ahead. Stay with us.